Welcome to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered, where we discuss all things life, love, and business. This is DeAndre.
This is DeAndre. Hey, booze, I'm back. Did you miss me?
No.
You are such a hater. Hi, who are you?
This is Nick.
Y'all have a good weekend?
Had a great weekend.
Yeah.
Sayo,
Okay,
how was your weekend?
I just worked.
What's the most productive thing you've done in your life the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks since we've seen you?
Went to work.
That's all?
Why would you say you ain't seen me in 3 weeks?
It's been about 3 weeks.
No, it has not.
It's been about 3 weeks. When, I think it was the last time we was here, right?
2 weeks ago.
All right, whatever. Y'all watched the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl was good. It was
Riri
great.
knocked up by yours truly. My 7th is on the way. Congratulate me.
Denial is a hell of a
Yeah.
drug.
We don't want to get a cease and desist later or nothing like that.
Please.
It's the truth.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just messing around. Riri's still fine, though.
I knew Riri was pregnant off the gate.
Yeah, as soon as she walked out and started moving, I know them hips. The way them hips move.
I love that for her.
That's good.
Her voice sounded a lot stronger.
First off, that was pre-recorded.
Okay.
All I seen on social media was, from women, of course, don't shame her body. And I couldn't do that. If I was however many months pregnant and she's just amazing, I'm thinking, this joint is pre-recorded. It was a few times she was off. Her lips were off. I'm like,
It was a
well,
lot.
whatever.
But you are a
No,
musician.
it's not live. They pre-recorded it. She lip-synced. So studio. That was all studio. It was not live.
Well, I'm going to say that.
That's what's up.
It was.
Just for y'all out there who, granted, she did a great job as a pregnant woman up there killing it, but it was pre-recorded though. But and ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying for everybody who's like, she did great, but
I couldn't tell you. I'm not a musician. I might miss those cues and stuff.
yeah,
But she did good
yeah,
nevertheless.
she did.
You know, she was real good.
Yeah, y'all ready for Valentine's Day?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah. I got a surprise for her.
What's
What
the
is it?
surprise? Can you tell us?
I can tell you off camera
Okay.
in case she checked this out when it's dropped.
It'll
Sayo?
literally be Valentine's Day when it drops.
Yeah,
But she gonna be. For the working people, Valentine's Day is typically in the evenings. So
that's
this might
true.
be dropped at 12, and she might listen to it and know what I got planned.
It'll be dropped before then.
That's
All
what
right.
I'm saying. So it's a surprise.
That's what's up. You topping last year?
Yeah,
What'd you guys do last year?
can't remember.
You just know you topping it?
Yeah, should be able to top something. You can't remember what you did.
Yeah, that's
I'd
true.
be pretty trash.
Yeah, she remember though.
Oh yeah. No, I usually try to just make her feel special. Let's put it like that.
That's what's up. Sayo, what are you? Anything special going on?
No.
What do single folk do for Valentine's Day?
I have to work. All
Prey
day.
on other single people.
What?
Prey on other single, like not PRAY, PREY.
Yeah, go
I
celebrate.
knew which prey you were talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Go
Or
celebrate.
nothing really, because if you celebrate, typically if you do something with somebody on Valentine's Day, then it means something.
Should you have to do Valentine's Day?
I don't think so. If you look at a lot of older folks, or even people who've been in relationships for a long time, they don't even celebrate it.
Yeah, if you value your significant other,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm going to take myself out to work tomorrow.
if you was in a relationship and your significant other valued you, throughout the years, it doesn't matter if he, go all out on Valentine's Day.
No.
If he's like a gift giving person.
No.
I always wondered that.
Not to me, it don't.
Because it's something that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should. I mean, it should though.
Yeah.
You shouldn't wait for one day to make a person feel special.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so Valentine's Day could be a little overrated,
Mm-hmm.
but I still got to do something.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm hoping that we play pickup basketball every Tuesday. I'm hoping that it doesn't get canceled.
There's a lot of married guys there.
There's a few married guys there, and then there's just guys who are in relationships there,
It's
and they're
giving-
young.
It's
So
giving canceled.
it is, but I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah.
When we jump in the group chat tomorrow around noon, I'm hoping that my voice will be a voice of reason and say,
I mean,
wait till the weekend. and then do it so you don't have to worry about getting up for work. Today, let's play ball.
That's what you're gonna say.
Actually, that's a good point. I might have to push my surprise back to the weekend.
Yeah. Go hoop, get an exercise in. By the weekend come, we free. We good to go.
So you want to fight with your wife because of this goon?
No, I could really.
I didn't directly tell Nick.
No, I'm not gonna fight with her, but I'm saying like I might just acknowledge the day tomorrow, but wait to have a really good time on the weekend, so I don't have to worry about the next day. I'll tell you the worst thing. I'm gonna give people some advice, and this is coming from a place where I bombed one year. Don't wait till the day of to do Valentine's Day stuff. I remember one time me and Shamar, you got dressed up a little bit, we looking good, and I didn't have reservations, and I tried to make them the day of, and it's just, man.
That was foolish.
My what? She was all decked up, and I got a good one, so she wasn't too mad at me. She was looking good, and I'm up here, taking her to different spots, hoping I can get a walk.
You got to know how to pivot.
I tried, man, my best.
Yeah, they got to have that plan B. See, me, if I walked in, no reservations, it would have instantly just jumped in my network. All right, do I know a photographer? Do I know a chef? Or do I know anybody that could do something I could do a little private joint?
Yeah.
Pivot real quick.
I was young. It was a mistake. I that was a one-time mistake. And I'm putting it out there for any guys on here. Do not wait the day of. If you want to do something, at the bare minimum, give it a few days.
Give it a few days, or always have a backup plan.
Always have a backup plan.
That's the smartest thing in the world.
I bombed. I remember that year. I never forget it. She had a nice, nice dress that she got for the occasion, and I'm up here trying to figure out where we going.
I haven't got dressed in a while.
Yeah, I'll take you and Angel outside
Great one.
sometime in the near future. I was gonna say this weekend, but you work this weekend?
Saturday.
Can't do it. I was gonna say
That was
Saturday.
the hardest working woman in the industry. I don't think she'd be working that much. She like Tommy.
Who likes about going to work? I don't enjoy
Plenty
it.
of people. For my guys.
You can take us out Friday.
Listen, it was this dude named Lil Lou one time.
Tied up Friday.
Untie then.
Let me tell you a funny story. You're talking about who lies about
No,
working.
wait. You have your date secured. Untie. Do you have your children?
I don't have my date secured.
Not this weekend.
Great. So untie. What do you mean?
All right, we'll figure something out.
Great.
What?
Wendy's is open till 2 a.m.
Yeah, Taco Bell too.
Yeah.
So I got a good question for you guys to go into our conversation today. We're getting older. We're all at a good age. Dating has to mean something now beyond just looks and stuff. Would you guys date a person with bad credit?
What's so funny?
She must.
You
Let's
gonna
see.
go first, Sile?
No.
Would I date somebody with bad credit? Yeah, why not?
Would you date somebody with bad credit?
Yeah.
But okay, so
No, my turn. We have to actively try.
Well, we're gonna get into that
Because there's a lot of reasons for bad credit. So me, my credit isn't where it should be, but
so
mine
you got
is
bad credit?
one. If that's what I got bad credit. Anywho, mine isn't where it should be. One, because I wasn't taught about it, and then when I was able to become responsible about it, I didn't educate myself how I should. And then I'm also scared of credit cards. And then it's mine is more so of a don't have credit, so it makes it bad credit, which I guess is worse than having bad
Yes,
credit.
it is.
Let me ask you a question, and this is rapid. You might not know these people. You a Kiyosaki fan or a Dave Ramsey fan?
Ramsey.
Ramsey or Kiyosaki? No wonder why you scared of credit cards. You gotta learn who these people are.
I don't know who they are.
Well, this is just really this is just really random. Dave Ramsey he believes in no debt, chop up your credit cards, and Kiyosaki is kind of the opposite. It's he do believe in debt to build wealth. So it's you got two people that's very, very good philosophies. Yeah. And I always like to ask people, are you a Ramsey fan or you a Kiyosaki fan? Just to see where people are. Mm-hmm. No, I think that's everybody's story, because I was the same way when I was younger.
And I got student loans.
Wrapped into credit cards, messed them up, and just trying to. I think everybody, starts off with that, trying to get them. Not everybody, but that was my story. You were trying to get myself out of the situation when I was younger.
See, and I think we do have to stop using the whole once you get to a certain age that we weren't taught about it. Because at some point in time, like once you cross,
you can't go without it.
Now. Yeah, once you cross 23, 24, 25 years old, like
everything is about credit.
Yeah, you'll run into a situation in which your credit's gonna be involved, and it's like, all right, let me get it together. So if you still,
so let's go back to that question now. Back to what we were saying. Now we're past 24, and we all you know 30s and stuff like that. Now let me ask you, knowing like what Dre said.
Huh?
I agree.
Nothing.
I agree everything what Dre just said. Is at a point now where it's like you have to have it.
Yeah.
So now at our age, coming into the game, would you still date a person that has bad credit?
Yes. But I need to know why you have it, because you have life circumstances. Some people go through divorces, and that ends up making them tank. Some people go through.
What if you ask them, well, what's wrong with your credit? And it was just like I don't know, I just don't pay attention to it.
Oh yeah, something's wrong with that. Yeah, I couldn't do that because I'm an ass. Because here's the thing, right? As a man, most women or a lot of women come into the picture and they automatically, one of their standards or expectations is that a man provides. Well, so I would be expected to have a job, decent to good credit, so that because how else am I going to provide? So I feel like that should definitely go both ways, especially if we coming in trying to build something. You know what I mean? Even if I was going to be the breadwinner and take care of her, oh no, you still, because we could make plays with your credit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So if yours isn't up to par, so I always feel like this across the board. I don't believe in anyone having expectations for someone else that you don't have for yourself. Absolutely. Like if you're not living that standard, don't try to hang an expectation over my head.
Absolutely.
But I would date somebody with bad credit though. But again, like circumstances, if you had a BK, you know what I mean? If you had a BK or bankruptcy.
Oh.
If you had a bankruptcy, if you went through a divorce and your stuff got messed up.
Student loans.
Nah.
Say student loans.
No.
Student loans.
Because a lot of people have student loans. That's a part. A lot of people make moves with student loans on credit. So,
and I don't really want to make this statement, but
student loans to that list.
Does student loans really affect your credit? I don't think it affects it as bad as like old credit cards and BKs and stuff like that. Well,
they do, depending on in Sayo's case, she doesn't really have credit. So her student loans are going to affect her a lot. But
when you got a mortgage and a car payment, them student loans is it's not going to give it that bad of a.
Well, you got to look at debt to income ratio.
Right about that.
So if your student loans are like a lot and exceeds your whatever those numbers is on that little wage, it affects your debt to income ratio, which would affect if you even get approved for a mortgage or car, or how much, and then your interest rate if you do get approved. It affects that as well.
And you make a good point on that, Dre, and I never thought of. So you and from a female's perspective and a man's perspective, we can look at our significant other's credit as we're going to look at it from a different view. Like you said, as the male provider, we almost have to come in here with a better financial record because we're the provider. So as a woman, how do you view a man that's coming to you as like, well, why is your credit messed up? Oh, I just don't pay attention to it.
So I don't know. I feel like you can, I don't want to say it wrong. So I dated a person who credit wasn't, they didn't have good credit, but it wasn't this wasn't a broke individual. They had a business, had stuff going on for themselves. They were financially stable and all of this. So I don't know. To me personally, credit isn't bad credit isn't the end all to me. Cause I feel like you can still move around and maneuver and make stuff happen without everything being about credit. If that makes sense.
Could, I mean, possibly not though.
Yeah. Because I know people too though. I know a few people who actually don't care about credit still because they have an old school mentality of as long as I got the cash. So to go along with what she said, one of my boys, my man rolling in dough, could care less about credit because he can pay for everything in cash. So the minute they talk about you need credit, he's just like, I have cash.
But man, imagine what he can do when he levered that credit.
He's just found a way to play the game that he plays. It works for him. He's not a drug dealer.
Yeah,
so he's heavy in real estate, super heavy in real estate, stocks, Bitcoin. Heavy. He's heavy in all of those things. So For him, he's just like
credit's not a big deal.
Yeah, to them, he could care less about credit.
To him, and it wasn't a thing at all.
So so let me ask y'all this: credit could be a front end thing, it could be a back end thing also. Mm-hmm. So on the back side of that question, do y'all think that credit can kind of give you a clear insight of a person's morals, character, and integrity?
I would say yes.
Yeah, part of it.
Elaborate. What do you mean part of?
I mean, because I think, like, you said it a while ago on a different episode, like, you can be able to tell about a person, like, with everything they do. Like, if I watch you long enough or in the patterns, I can tell if you're a procrastinator or not. I can tell if you form good habits, this, that, and the third. So I think credit could tell you something about a person, but then again, I don't think credit is an end all or is just like a defining thing for a person. I don't.
I think in day and age, that could be a red flag that people look over.
Yeah. I
think it's definitely something that we need to start looking into. I'm married, but, if we're dating and we're doing pre-vetting, I think credit, it could be, and it should be something that's kind of in your background to say, okay, well, why is your credit bad?
Yeah. Now, if you're just like, I don't give a damn about credit, and you're not like, you live in paycheck to paycheck, you ain't really got nothing, that's like a red flag. But like, also like the guy that not the same guy that we're describing, but that type of person, you're not being like, credit don't got you in a chokehold. You still moving around. You still like, you ain't, I don't know how I'm gonna afford this. I can't get this because it's not stopping you from doing anything. So like that situation, I just feel like, all right, cool. But if it's another, like, I don't know, I just don't care about it. That's, I feel like, is a red flag. So I feel like it's like two different, what are you doing with it or without it?
I just feel like, now there's rare situations, like Dre said, if you're rolling in dough, obviously you don't really need credit. But I think for the average person, credit is a big factor nowadays because it's almost like, to a lot of people can debate that credit is more important than cash.
Yeah.
Because I can debate your guy, and yes, you're rolling in cash, but why tie up your liquid? Why tie up your cash? Why tie up your money when your credit, man, there's a lot of people that's millionaires out here that ain't even touch their own money.
Yeah, well, that's a big philosophy now.
That's a different conversation.
Is using
other people's money.
OPP, other people's money.
Yeah.
Like, why use yours when you can use other people's money versus
why take
yours?
your cash and buy that real estate when the bank can give you the money?
But so for like my boy, like he's pushing 50, so he's been in real estate since he was 18, 19 years old. He bought his first building at 19 years old. He bought an apartment building.
That's surprising. I would have thought.
And a pizza shop.
He don't use no credit?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
So now, he owns buildings. I think it's close to owning like 20 buildings. So he owns
different story.
He owns over 100 doors.
That's different, man. That man don't need no credit.
Yeah, he owns over 100 doors. So, but I do feel you though, because I've sat across from women and they were just straight up like, so what's your credit like? Like, oh, well, this is what it is. Well, why is it like that? You know what I mean? In my past, or okay, that's good. And I actually, but they're very open about theirs as well. How did you get there? What do you plan on doing? What are your plans? I think those are healthy and necessary conversations to have because a lot of people just get caught up in the butterflies and the emotion of a new thing, and they don't care to look at the back, like you said, the back end of after you get over all the butterflies and the pancakes, butterflies, and rainbows.
There's gotta be some sort of stability.
Yeah, like, all right, what are your spending habits like? How do you live on a day-to-day basis? And then also, like, you're driving that, but you work here. Mm-hmm. How you doing that? How is that possible to be driving a vehicle like this, but you work here? That don't make sense at all. So, you know what I mean? A lot of people, the average person, spends more than they make.
Yes.
So I think that's because finances is also a leading cause of divorce.
Yes.
Also a leading cause of relationships breaking up. Arguments all the time is finances.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
On the first date, I don't care what nobody says. On the first date, I believe in asking hard questions.
So credit and stuff like that should be, like you said, if finances is one of the leading causes in divorce and one of the leading causes in breakups and relationship, why aren't we talking about, why ain't credit a big end all be all?
Yeah.
Are you asking me that?
I mean, it's rhetorical, but I mean, I'm pointing at you because you said it ain't an end all be all. But I think that maybe it should. Maybe.
I mean, I don't think it is because
maybe
I again, you have to. I would have to judge the person's, and I'm saying judge the person's spending habits.
Oh, yeah, judge.
Reasons why, the credit is, and then are you actively doing something about it?
Yeah.
And then if a plan is set in place, are you working that plan? You know what I mean? And if I really, really like you and I'm like accepting that red flag about you and I'm willing to help you out, are you actually going to accept the help? And again, are you going to work this plan or are you going to work against us?
That's what I'm saying. And let me be clear, when I say bad credit, I ain't talking about that. You know what? Because, okay, obviously different people look at bad credit. Some people might say, well, a low 600 and stuff is bad, which, interest-wise, you are going to be getting the higher interest levels. But I mean, like, that's kind of like that teetering that fair and bad is not kind of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a person that's consistently walking around with 500 numbers. Yeah. That's the number I'm talking about. Because I'm not talking about. I ain't talking about. What'd you say?
Said that's not me.
I'm not talking about a person walking around with you had a 630, 6 going on a 6. You're working on it. You're actively working on it. I'm talking about the person that's actively walking around with poor credit, and it's like that's not a big deal to you. And at our age, I think that's a clear indicator of who you are. To me, it can show more who you are than we think. Mm-hmm. I know a girl. She had posted on Facebook. Don't know if she watched this, and I will feel bad if she do, but I have to say the story. She posted on Facebook. She was like, "What happens if I return my car? Do a self repo because I signed up for this car and I can't pay these bills." It's just like that's a very irresponsible move, and like that's the type of if that's your mindset, that could be damaging to a relationship. So it's like, to me, it makes me think like, okay.
Was she doing it to clown around, or was she actively seeking help by putting that out there, or she was just putting her business out?
No, she was actively trying to see, do I got to repay this back if I give it back?
Okay. So she was looking for real answers.
She just...
No, she wasn't playing around. She was dead serious. But it's just like, and that's my homegirl. Nothing against her.
I'm saying, like, did she fall on hard times? Did something happen?
No, most people go to the car lot and they bait you into buying something you can't afford.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
But the point is, she wanted to take that joint back, though.
She wants to give it back because she knew good and goddamn well she
couldn't afford it.
That's still going to affect her.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's still going to affect the credit.
Yeah, but that thing.
But you would look at a person like that.
But now let's say this person's dating you, and it's like, okay, you didn't check your budget, your finances before you signed this paper.
Yeah, that's a turn off.
But that's when you got to sit down. You go like, all right, well, at least you know what? At least she didn't
just let him come get it.
Yeah, I mean, at least she's honest with herself. I mean, it's after the fact. That got to count for something that she's. Yeah. I mean, she thought about it. It is after the fact, so that's an issue. But again, it's like, are you coachable?
Did she give her car back?
I don't know. I just seen that, and that's what kind of stirred up this part of this conversation I wanted to have, because it's like, to me, I'm big on pre-vetting people, and it's like, okay, should we add credit score into this pre-vetting process?
Yes. I don't see why not now, but again, adding it to it and then making it a determining factor. Am I going to walk away or stay? For some people, it's an automatic yes. I'm going to walk away. For some people, it's I don't know. For some people, it's
because for some people, if they're big on building, I'm building, trying to build my life and my wealth. Being with you could kind of throw a monkey wrench into the situation.
Yes and no, because if I'm already building before you come, or are my building plans hanging on the balance of someone coming in to help me, or am I actively?
We all know that wife that get divorced is taking half of what you built.
Well, listen, better sign that prenup.
Yeah, and that's another conversation.
Sign the prenup, and all else fails, put the business in somebody else's name.
Yeah.
There's ways you can do stuff now.
But I ain't trying to go around.
There's ways you can do stuff around here to make sure you can prevent all of that from happening, and not just be like, "Oh, well, this is my wife or this is my husband. Let me go ahead sign a prenup. Just sign something."
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer. If I dated and ended up marrying a rich woman, a wealthy woman, and she was like, "I need you to sign this," all right, bet, cool, because you know what? She may give me monetary gifts, and if they're in large lump sums, I'm gonna put that up just in case stuff goes bad.
Well, a lot of people don't know.
You just got to be smart with what you get. A lot of people go out and they splurge with that kind of stuff. You better go ahead and invest that just in case something happened on a rainy day.
A lot of people don't know prenups ain't even really for you. It's for your family. It's for other people around you.
You protecting everything that you got.
You protecting everything from anybody. They don't know you got that broke cousin. Go see if your wife will loan me $1,000. I can't, doc. I can't get it.
Yeah.
So, but I think that nowadays the older we get, and I'm married, but let's just, for the sake of this conversation, if I was going back in the dating realm, we do need to start focusing on our future a lot. And these questions is very vital to me.
We got to be honest with ourselves and really realize that relationships are not built on love alone.
Yes.
So if you take the mindset that if I'm in love with somebody, then those would be the main ones. I'm in love. I ain't got to worry about all that. Yes, you do. And you'll be the first one signing them divorce papers.
Exactly.
The ones that are going around talking about like that. Just be honest and let's think about life's everyday needs and necessities. Like you're gonna have to drive to and from work, business, whatever you get. You gotta get kids to and from school if you got school. If you got kids, you need somewhere to lay your head down. Like, let's just be honest. If a joker is laying on his back every day and ain't doing nothing but playing video games and chilling, if they taking PTO days for no reason and they just laying up and they like obviously my bad.
You can at me next time. You can at me, and I did, and I do it again.
I'm just saying. She at least works sometimes, but
I work all the time, which is why I took a PTO day, because I just came off a 7-day work week and I was exhausted.
She's the hardest working female in the industry
this week. So, but let's just be
Dre,
realistic.
Kiss my ass.
You need more than love, okay? If love is gonna be your foundation, great. But as he said, I do think that's a good question to be added in there, because again, I do think that it shows a lot about your character. But again, if you're asking the right questions when you're vetting someone, getting to know someone, then you'll figure out like this person's like all of their MCIs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You'll figure out who they are. Again, asking spending habits and there's ways of asking questions without asking questions if you're afraid to be very, very direct.
But we need to know this stuff. Like you said, so like, why is your credit bad? Like I said, when I was younger, when I was 10 years ago, I remember I was walking in a jewelry store. Hey, come here, Hey, you ever thought about signing boom, 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 and you can get this much and this type of credit? I'm like, okay, what I got to do? Just sign this paper. And so you're gonna give me $1,000 credit card? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Okay. Took that credit card. I bought a watch. I bought Shamar a $500 Pandora bracelet. It was a nice gift, but I mean, like,
so you was looking good
and ain't realized, like, hold on, man, dog, you gotta pay this back. And I'm like, oh man, the minimum payment only $35 a month.
Listen, that happened to me.
Man, I went like 2 years paying this $35. Like, hold the hell on.
Listen,
I went 2 years paying the minimum. Like, this ain't paid off yet.
That interest ain't no joke.
Forget this jewelry card. She done lost a bracelet. Like, what? I paying for something she lost. But then now, 10 years later, and now I gotta call up and hey man, how much it's gonna cost to get this off my joint? Because it's killing me.
10 years.
I'm just talking now.
I was about to say after 7.
Yeah, they keep reselling it.
Yeah, it probably fell off.
It's smart to just get educated on how credit works. I mean, because a lot of times you hear a lot of people put out a lot of things, but a lot of stuff you can do on your own if you just go out there and figure out the information for yourself. They say library. You can go to the library. Now you got Google, so we walk around with libraries every day. You
can figure out our phones. Write these letters and send them in. And get this.
You ain't even got to do that a lot of times. There's just different things that you can do to get the stuff. You can take that route, whether it's letters, disputing it. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. There's so many right ways. Everybody talking about don't do that, do this. There's a lot of right ways that just depend on your situation. In my opinion, if you real bad in debt, then like in your case, like. I would say, it ain't nothing bad.
I thought you were talking about Sile.
Yeah, I'm talking about Sile. Like, in her case, like, it ain't nothing. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's not terrible. She just, she ain't got no credit. She just got to get a few things. Once she start making payments, she cool.
Get you a credit card, start getting gas and paying it off. You be on top.
She's straight.
So let me ask y'all this. Let's switch that.
I thought you was pointing at me when you said you in a lot of debt.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh, no.
Nah. So let me ask you this. The opposite to the first question I asked, can we prejudge a person based on bad credit? Can we make a false accusation to a person just because they got bad credit.
If it's prejudging, that means we don't know yet.
We're saying, can we prejudge a person, like that person, based on their credit score?
Well, we don't know their credit score right off rip.
I'm saying,
you gotta give a scenario.
If a person told you, like you said, you sat down on date saying, "What is your credit score?" Mm-hmm. Well, right now I'm building. I'm at a 600, and they said, "Dang, you must be terrible with money. I don't want to deal with you." But
no, man, listen. Ask questions.
Is it possible we could prejudge that person?
Yeah, and I think that's awful because why wouldn't you
take
the initiative to go and figure out why are you in this predicament? Like, I think Dre said it. Stuff happens. Life happens to everybody. Why are you in this predicament? Anything could have happened that could have put you to where you are. And I don't think it's right that you should, especially if credit can always be rebuilt. Just because you have bad credit or no credit doesn't mean you're stuck there forever. Yeah. You can always do something to fix that. So to judge a person off of, you blah, blah, blah right now.
But that don't scare you though. But honestly, that don't scare you though.
But so
to me, no, because something can be done about it.
But what I'm saying is, somebody got a 695? Let's say they got a 710 credit score, right? But they co-signed for somebody on a car or house, okay?
Yeah, so it ain't even them.
And that person
is the reason why their credit is
went
up.
and got their house foreclosed on or got their car repossessed, and now it's gonna fall on you. Ain't nothing you could do about it, and now your credit takes a major hit because one thing can get on your credit, and you could be at a 721 day, and your joint drop 75 points or 100 points off one thing, and you like, yo. To me, and now that makes your credit look bad.
To me, it's scary to me, honestly. If I was to have to date again, man, because it's like, I'm a believer, and we talked about this on the podcast. It's like how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yes.
So like that person, maybe just because you don't. Okay, let's just say and I'm talking where we are now and our age now. Like Dre, you just said, it's a plethora of information to fix this stuff.
Yeah.
If I meet you and then yes, you might have messed up and then you working on it, but then it's like, but are you, is your decision making that bad? Like, are you gonna sit here and commit to things that you can't pay for? Are you gonna commit to things that you know? To me, it's just like it might speak something that this person is that we don't know yet.
Yeah,
I don't feel like that should be like a. I don't. So, do you feel like if you were to go on a date, say you weren't married, and you were to go on a date and you start asking these questions about a person's credit, and they tell you, oh well, my credit is a 600 or something like that, would you be prejudging them?
I'm gonna make an initial judgment, but I'm gonna give it time to see
what kind of time.
What would your initial
what
judgment
does time
be?
look like?
My initial judgment at the age I am now, you're telling me that you have bad credit. Are you working on it? Yes, I'm working on it. And then it's like, okay, let's just kind of, because finances can be big.
All right, so what's your timeline? How long are you giving
3 to 6 months.
So you're gonna.
So why even judge? That's a long time.
I mean, it is, but it ain't.
No, that's a long time, bro. 3 to 6 months.
Folk
meet. Listen, people meet each other and get in relationships and get married in 3 to 6 months. Sometimes.
I think that's entirely too fast.
Well, that's for your case. You do, but there's a lot of people who have been married for decades.
That's a great thing. I just think 6 months is a short period of time.
That's long, bro. Because that's a lot of time that you invest into somebody that you're saying, I'm prejudging you, but I'm gonna give it time to see. Like, what are you looking for exactly in 3 to 6 months?
I'm looking to see your spending habits. I'm looking to see, are you really working on it? Are you just blowing money on silly stuff? Because being that I'm married now, and I know the situation that me and my wife been in because of finances, how detrimental it could be. So if I don't know, I'm the type of person where it's about when I got married to my wife, I knew everything I needed to know.
So at the end of the 6 months, you're expecting to see that you showed me that you're making payments or that you're doing whatever.
Yeah, that ain't nothing to me.
Yeah,
because what if you get with somebody who's extremely great at hiding it, and what if you get with somebody who is a professional? Rob Peter to pay Paul, and it looks like.
Well, let's just be honest. I mean, there's always going to be a risk. There's always going to be a risk to get married. It was a risk that I took, and I thought I knew everything. But we ain't even talking about marriage. We talking about 3 to 6 months and prejudging someone. Yeah, I still want to see. I want to see how you handle your money. I want to see, are you telling me the truth of what you said when I first met you?
So how are you going to know?
Let me do you one better. If you're doing all of that, you might as well just be like, I'm asking you your spending. Have you do all that? Let me see your bank account for the last 6 months.
Yeah, let's see that.
Instead of wasting your time for 3 to 6 months.
But I mean,
let me see your bank statements for the last 3 to 6 months.
And then in reality, who's about to show you that in 3 months?
That's what I'm saying.
Here you go.
But I don't want to see your bank statements. Are you making your payments on time? Are you calling me to borrow money?
What if they're not calling you to borrow money and they're just like, yeah, maybe. How are you gonna verify?
But you're gonna at some point, if you're really serious about this person, y'all talking on a regular basis, you're gonna start picking up on some.
You said 3 to 6 months. You're gonna be asking this person? Did you make your car payment?
I don't have to ask you to see like.
But I'm telling you will have to ask because
how are you gonna see?
Some people are good at hiding it. Is what I'm trying to. I think you're not looking at. Don't give yourself so much credit in thinking that you'll see everything in everyone.
And maybe I won't see it. My whole thing is I am still at. Maybe I won't see what I need to see. Yeah. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's still a risk when you actually take it that far. But I am gonna be in the back of my head trying to figure out, okay, why is your credit like it is? And so when we do have conversations like, hey, we going somewhere and can you pay for this? Or, hey, I don't know, I feel like a conversation gonna come up sooner or later about the conversation. Now, if you're hiding it, that's even worse.
So what if this person they did tell you my credit score is low, I'm working on it, blah, blah, blah. But within the course of these 3 to 6 months, like they never asked you for a dime, they're paying for everything, like nothing is getting repoed. They're keeping up on themselves.
And
like
if we had that
is everything that.
And if we had that conversation and you said my credit is bad, then I think within those 3 to 6 months, hey, has that credit jumped up? How's that credit journey for you? Is it working? Is you doing better? Also, in 3 to 6 months, you should have jumped up at least 20, 30 points by now.
And they say, oh, it's improving, or I'm working on it.
That's good.
So then what do you say at the end of this 6 months? Like, okay, I'm going to stick with it.
Let's stick with it. Because I'm gonna assume, and like I said, I'm obviously not a mind reader, nor am I God. I don't know if you're telling me the truth. I'm gonna hope that if I'm investing this time, and I'm gonna pray that I'm with a person that's telling the truth about their credit score.
So in 3 to 6 months, you're only basing things off of the credit.
I'm not only basing what I'm saying
because I think
that's the same.
So what about this scenario? 3 to 6 months, you're with somebody and you peeping them with the whole credit thing or whatever. But you're falling for them more and more and more and more. And at the end of the 6 months, their credit is still trash. Matter of fact, it probably got a little bit worse. You walking away, even though now you're emotionally invested.
If I'm big on financials and growing, and if that's the path I'm going, then I got to make a decision based on me.
So what are you doing though?
It would be a hard decision, but finances.
Because now you're invested.
Finances is difficult. If I come from because there's people that, for instance, when we got married, my father and mother-in-law was huge on me being able to take care of my wife. And they was almost like dang there because we were still in school. At the time, I didn't have a business and I'm working at a pawn shop. They really wasn't trying to let me marry my daughter. My wife. They wasn't trying to let me marry their daughter. And I understand I'm not arguing with them and stuff like that. So for them, being financially stable was huge on the priority list.
So maybe say like, her financially stable or whatever is like, I'm not asking you for nothing. I'm buying everything that I need. I can afford this, that, and the third. But you're at the end of this 6 months, of course, like you be around a person, you naturally get invested or whatever. Feelings are attached. And so
that's going to be big. No, the Nick today is the financial is going to be big.
So you are going to say, because your credit score hasn't jumped a X amount of points, or because whatever the case may be, whatever y'all did within these 6 months
means nothing.
Yeah, like your credit score, your credit, mind you,
but
then it's like what are you expecting her to be able to do? So being the man. And you are the one concerned about her credit score, so she's not really supposed to be the provider per se. What is it that you're expecting her to be able to do?
Number one, I'm expecting you to, if you said that you want to do better for yourself, then keep up that commitment to yourself.
What if she do feel like she's doing better with herself? What if she feels like she's saving, she's going to work, she's not asking you for anything, she's affording the things that she wants?
Then all of that is good, then you should be better.
Should be better, but that's not always how that works, though.
But what I'm saying is this: financials is so big. If it's the leading cause of divorce, shouldn't we pay attention to it?
I'm not saying not pay attention to it, but I just feel like you're focusing on something when in reality it doesn't go down like that.
But it do though.
No, it doesn't.
Divorce all the time.
I'm not talking about divorce because of financials.
Well, I'm talking dating to marriage. I'm talking this. I'm potentially this woman could be my wife. And if I know that I know that finances is one of the bigger situations in a relationship, then it should be bigger on a priority list than just saying like, oh, well, it's okay. You know, I love everything about her, but her money is trash.
That's not what I'm asking you. What I'm asking you is, you guys have done you gave us the timeline of 3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months.
At the end of the 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
My first question is, what are you expecting her to do or to be at financially? So you being the man, naturally you are supposed to be the provider. Agree? Or disagree? So when you're in this relationship with her, what is the role that you're expecting her to be as far as finances?
So being in my I don't know how anybody else handles their money, but typically in my house, Shamar is better with money. I can go get the money. Mm-hmm. She handles the money. So at the end of the day, like I said, Nick, now, like I try to put, like, you know how Coach K talk about, man, I try to be the hunter and I allow my wife to, you know, handle the money, pay up.
She's budgeting, making sure the bills are paid.
So my whole thing is
month.
If I'm busting my butt hunting, bringing home the ends, I'm getting the money and you're not good with it, that's going to be a huge issue.
But what is that? What you just said, what does that have to do with credit?
That's what I was about to ask. So say
because credit has everything to do with how you pay your bills. Credit has everything to do with committing to your bills, keeping your credit cards at a low minimum, making sure you're on time. It has everything to do with your financial history.
Let me tell you how quick this is. So you go, you get the money. Hey, babe, here's the account, blah, blah, blah. She throw all the shit on auto pay, boom, bam. She ain't got to do nothing. What does that have to do with her credit? Or what does that have to do with,
if you can't maintain your own stuff, how you going to maintain our stuff? If you ain't maintaining your own credit and your own credit is low and stuff like that, how can I trust that when I go get the money, you're going to be able to take care of it?
She's taking care of the money. She's handling the money.
The bills
are paid.
What I'm saying
what does that have to do with her credit?
That's now. I'm talking about back when we was dating. That's how I handle it now. But what I'm saying is back,
Okay. So stick to just the scenario. Don't go to you being married.
Okay.
Because that's where the confusion is. You keep jumping back to
marriage. Okay.
So just stick to
let me break down what I was saying. So what I'm saying is, now how I handle money is this is the system that me and my wife has. It works great for us. Let's play this back 3 years ago when we was dating. We couldn't be in a situation if you didn't handle money, and I didn't trust that you could be a steward to our money back in the day. So if I couldn't trust you 3 to 6 months, and this is the direction that we're going, how do I know that? How do I know that we can get to this marriage part if I can't trust you when we first start dating?
Okay, so now we gonna take your wife out of this all together.
Okay.
Let's take her out, period.
Okay.
We gonna go to your scenario of the 3 to 6 months.
Yes.
New woman.
Okay.
Ain't never seen her, just met her, 3 to 6 months. Now, go ahead with this because you don't know that, you don't know how she handles money. You don't know any of this. You know what your wife does. So I think so that's kind of like the fallback of what you're going to. So using the scenario that you gave though with a totally different person,
based on me,
how are you equating all of that to her credit?
Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you signed up for $1,000 credit card and you can't be responsible for this $1,000 credit that Capital One didn't gave you, how can I trust that you can be responsible for our household budget?
I agree, but what if this individual was never really operating off of credit cards? She was just operating off of cash.
Okay, then that's a different situation. Now, if I went into a situation and she had said like, "Sire, like I just don't have credit." Okay, cool. That's no big deal. That's no big deal. That's not. But I'm talking about a person that's like buried in credit card debt, buried in this type of stuff, and then like in that's going to be an issue for me. In 3 to 6 months,
I want to see. So you think that after 3 to 6 months, you said isn't a long time. I think that's a long time to invest time and emotions and everything into someone, only to at the end of 6 months be like, "Well, you ain't getting it together with your credit, so all right." Because that's what it seems like. Like why? Like I know you said it's not a long time, but
to me,
3 to 6 weeks at least, instead of 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months is a long time because I'm telling you, 3 to 6. Think of how many days that is. How long? How much time you're gonna spend on the phone? How much time you're gonna spend doing something with this individual?
I just don't think
you're gonna spend all of this time with this individual.
Think 3 to 6 months is a long time.
To get as far as you're saying, that is a long time.
I have to disagree. I don't think 3 to 6 months is long. Because I can't find.
So you would invest in somebody for 3 to 6 months only to say, "All right, I'm out," because what I
mean,
what I hope to see and I don't see. I think you can get there a lot faster.
I ain't been in this realm, maybe, but what I'm saying is, to me,
scared of you if you can do that.
Do what?
That's a nice amount of time
Yeah.
to be dealing with an individual. Then say like y'all dealing with each other. If I'm assuming every day there's gonna be some sort of encounter, whether it's talking, spending time for 3 to 6 months. Like that's a lot of time to just like.
But you're talking to a person. You're talking to a person that was engaged for 4 or 5 years.
That has nothing to do with anything.
No, but what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, I dated my wife for 4 years. What I'm saying is, time to me, I played the long game. So to
then
some
if you're
people,
playing the long game, then 3 to 6 months should not matter about her credit then.
but 3 to 6 months not the long for me. Maybe we're doing, and I want to give you enough time to prove me wrong.
So what's a long time to you?
A long time of what? And for what?
Just, you said 3 to 6 months isn't a long time. What's a long time to you?
It all depends on what we're doing, like compared to what.
Because what if she does good for 6 months, and then on month 9, she's like, "All right, I got him," and then she just goes back to her ways.
Like I said, there's going to be a risk there. I mean, that can be a situation in every relationship in America, that you can go as long as then this person can flip the switch the second you get married. So that's a risk that everybody has to go with.
That's true, but we speaking on just this situation though.
Yeah, I would be highly hurt if that you went this long and then you really wasn't the person that you was showing me.
Okay. Listen, I don't disagree with everything that you're saying at all. I do believe that credit and all that is one of the most important conversations that you should have with someone. Because why, if you're in a good situation, you don't want anybody coming in this, but the way that you're describing everything is just, it sounds contradicting. It's just, you know what I mean? Manner? Like when you're saying, I'm gonna give her all the money, like she said, this joker could auto pay everything. If everything's taken care of, what they got to do with the credit? I get with making sure that everyone's on an equal playing field, or if she's higher than you, or whatever the case may be, long as both of y'all ain't doing bad. But when you begin to intertwine both of them, it just doesn't make sense with what you're saying. What I'm
saying is this: the person I am today, that's how we handle our money being married. I want to be able to trust that you can do that, because it ain't just as simple as auto paying everything and walking away. I mean, it sounds like that, but we still gotta make.
It literally is. That's the point of auto pay.
Yeah,
you put it on there, you set a date, hey, take this out of my account.
Okay, but let's say we have a mortgage and we say, hey, we want to get this paid off in a faster time period. We got to put a little bit more strategy than just auto pay.
No, you can still do it.
I mean, you can, but it still has to be some form of fashion of watching over it. Y'all auto pay and never charged y'all too much?
I'm just saying.
It's the same thing.
It's literally as simple.
But everybody don't do auto pay. We don't even. I don't do auto pay.
Everybody does it.
So it's not just as simple as that.
But you were
if
saying
you don't do it, then
you're not thoroughly checking. Like, let me see your bank statements. Let me see this. And she just like well, shit. That's all you think I'm doing? Auto pay everything, babe. The bill's paid. What do that? You still don't know what her credit looking like. If you wanted to get
that mortgage paid,
like
I'm just gonna call in or jump online and do it.
Okay, that's just the bills. What about our investments? What about our with the kids and stuff? You can't auto pay food. You got to be able to budget how much food is coming in the house.
You can auto pay food nowadays.
How? It's so simple. Like, literally, it's so simple.
Amazon, you can grocery shop.
You can have your delivery scheduled, so you ain't even got to go back and put it back in.
As a married man,
married people do this. Married people do this.
Okay, but I'm telling y'all, it's more to that. As the married person,
I've been married before though.
Okay, but I'm married now though.
What does that have to do with anything? Because marriage is marriage.
Okay, but it's more than that. Marriage is not marriage.
Marriage
is not marriage.
Bro, okay. So basically, So basically, what you're saying now is because I'm not married, then that automatically.
I'm not saying.
Wait. That automatically deletes my experience of being married because I'm not married now at this moment.
I'm not.
You just said that. Basically, I
said I'm married now. You said I was married. And you said marriage is marriage.
Like, yeah, but I'm married now.
Because I am married now.
Yeah, but when you're talking about,
but y'all simplifying something that is more into it.
It is. I'm not dumbing down your marriage. When I say marriage is marriage, I mean I was in a relationship with a ring on with two people, and I know everybody's
marriage is not the same.
Bro, we know that. That's not what we're not saying.
Okay, but when you say marriage is marriage, it's like it do feel like you're dumbing it down a little bit.
You didn't hear everything that I said though. Don't be quick to react. Listen, when I say marriage is marriage, I'm saying from the standpoint of I was in a relationship. Hey, if you're in a relationship, yeah, we in relationships. It's kind of like the same thing, right? We know that the landscape of the relationship could be totally different. But the fact is, if you say, all right, listen, we better do an event and it's all married people, are you going to say, hey, what's your marriage like? Because your marriage is like this, you can't come in.
I can guarantee.
But you just said it's for married people.
But I can guarantee you that if you do a marriage event, everybody's gonna have a different experience and a different qualification to their marriage.
I just said that.
So but what I'm saying, that's not marriage. Is not marriage then.
Okay. You don't understand. I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I understand you, but I disagree with you.
Okay.
Y'all can laugh. I mean, it is what it's not as simple. Marriage, finances, and all that different stuff is not as simple as we're making it out to be.
Who said that though?
Sayo
didn't even say that.
Sayo didn't say that. What
Sayo might not have said the words, but you're saying but your body. Oh, we can auto pay. It could be done. It could be done. There's more to that.
Here's what I encourage
auto paying your whole life.
Here's what I encourage you to do.
Hold on. What Sayo said was, it is as simple as you being able to auto pay something. Mm-hmm. I never once said that marriage is simple. I never said finances is simple. I never said that whatever else. I'm not done.
But to say as it could be as simple as X, Y, and Z is saying that finances couldn't be simple. And I say it's not as simple as that.
But anything
can be made simple. There's strategies to where it could be simpler than something than making it harder. Auto pay can be simple as clicking a button and saying, on this date every month, I agree for this company to take X amount of dollars out of my account so that I don't have to worry about it. That is simplifying your finances.
You're throwing in I'm not different saying things that, to the equation. But
now you're putting words in my mouth because
I'm not.
You just did. What are you doing?
How am I putting words in your mouth?
You said that I said something that I didn't.
So did you not just say it could be as simple as X, Y, and Z?
She said that, but you're taking what she's saying and you're spinning it in a different direction.
Yeah, I don't think that you.
No, I mean you are. When you listen back, you'll see.
Okay.
But listen, when it comes to finances, it can't. Everybody, what you can't do is make it like these same marriages that you say is different. You can't make it seem like all of them have the same idea of finances as you.
I'm not saying that, but
but you basically are though.
I'm not saying, but
because even statistically, if you look now at marriages, bro, even especially the ones with kids, investments, and all that, you have to have a system in place.
But statistically showing that up to 90% of all divorces is financial. That's not a simple thing. There's something into that. Why, if it's as simple as we're making it out to be, then why is it so many people getting divorced?
81% as of last month. But listen,
okay, 80% of all marriage. If it's as simple as we can make it to be, why is it happening?
Because people don't know how to come together and do that. And as we stated at the top of this, people aren't asking the right questions as far as what's your credit like,
a large factor
what's your spending
habits.
Whether I didn't know that she was a money spender, and guess what? She's out of control, and I can't control her. And next thing you know, we're arguing all the time. Divorce.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why, to me, if I was going back to date, why credit would be so important to me.
That's good, but what you also have to know is, just like you say, you and your wife are on the same page. You got to know and understand that there's couples out here that are in better positions than all of us. Some in worse, but they sit down, they go to the table, and they talk, and they have a system in place. And guess what? I can go and I can pick up this phone when we're done and call married couples that are extremely wealthy that have simplified finances.
And I agree. And we can also pick up the phone, call company.
You just disagreed with me though.
No, listen. I agree that it can be simple. I don't think it's as simple as we're making it out to be.
It can, though, bro. That's like we live in a technology age.
But I think
technology has allowed for us to simplify it.
But I think that it's more than just set and forget.
That's why it was made, though.
I think that it's still more to it.
Okay, can you explain it?
Okay, I think that you still have to manage the system.
Okay.
I think that you still have to check it. I think that you still have to put things in place. Mm-hmm. I think that if you want to grow your money, you got to know how to manage it, move it. You have to trust accountants. You have to know where the money is going, what type of investments. You got to make smart. You can't auto pay investments.
Okay.
You can't.
So when you do all of this stuff, how long do you think that takes you every day?
It depends.
Are you monitoring it every day, and for how long?
You can be.
Because most people get up first thing in the morning. That's one of the things that they do. They go to their cut and they say, you hear most people say, I'll make sure that everything's in order.
Yes.
That's managing, right?
Yes.
If that takes you 5 minutes, is that not simple?
That's simple, but that's just not set and forget. It's not forgetting if you manage it on a daily basis.
All you're doing is no, but you can because you're checking it. And what about people who are saying, "Well, I'm too busy doing that because I pay somebody else to do that."
And that's great, but that's just
is that not set and forget?
No. If you got to manage,
if
you got to manage that person.
No, if somebody else is doing that for me,
and how detrimental can that be? Though?
It can
if you don't
be. You look at
Usain
Bolt, who just lost. I think it was what, 10 million.
Look at Steve Harvey. Look at Steve Harvey because he said
he just lost 10 million. I think it was last month or something like that. 10 million that he thought 10 or 12 million was sitting there because he set and forget. But guess what? You can set and forget on your own, or you can look at your stuff every single day and still lose that same 10 to 12 million.
Then we are saying it's not as simple as we're making it out to be.
But it is, because if the same thing can happen with your eyes on then off, then
then it's not set and forget. If a situation
you got to catch what I'm saying. I'm saying if the same thing can happen whether you're looking at it or not looking at it, then who
do you trust more looking at it? Bad credit or good credit?
What?
Now, I'm asking you a question. If you had to pay an accountant and you found out he had bad credit, which one are you trusting more to?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. If I go to an accountant, I'm not asking him his credit score. So him or her credit
would you
score.
Would you trust a woman, your woman, to manage your money with bad credit?
If she's a better manager at that than I am, yeah. Because
with bad credit, you would trust her?
Again, I stated at the top that it's not a total deal breaker as long as I know the reasons. I would have to know reasons as to why she has bad credit. Again, life circumstance. If she had a bankruptcy, if she co-signed for somebody and that's how it got destroyed, I need to know reasons why. If these were reasons why, then yes, I would trust her because life circumstances happened.
That's great. That's where me and you disagree. I'm not trusting a person. I can't fully trust a person if I know that you're not good with money to manage a system that is simplified.
So are you saying, like, even though, like he just said, this person has bad credit because they co-signed, oh, my mom needed a car, I'm her daughter, I just really wanted to help, she wasn't in a predicament, blah, 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 blah. She fell behind on her payments. It affected me because I am the co-signer. Completely out of her control. But at the end of the day, her credit score is not where it should be. So because of that, she's not allowed to manage the household money.
No, let's go back to what I said. So back when we was dating, when I would give you that 3 to 6 months, if that was the conversation, obviously I'm not judging that. Obviously, in those 3 to 6 months, if you told me, hey, mom's fell behind on her car payment, it got repo, and now I'm trying to fix that situation. And if you show me within those 3 to 6 months that's what you're doing, and like I said, when we started, then yes, that's
every
great.
time something happens in that relationship, you go give them a 3 to 6 month probation period?
No, I'm talking about how you do it in the beginning.
So say you go on this date and you guys have the conversation.
Then that's just a risk that I'm going to fail then, because
you're not going to be
change.
Listen, if you're in a relationship, in the first 3 to 6 months, she did great. 3 years down the road, you still judging her based off that 3 to 6 months, something's wrong with you.
We wouldn't be
because we all changing.
But we wouldn't be down the road if I don't trust that you are the person you say you are.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If 3 to 6 months, you do get to the point of trusting her.
Yeah.
Okay, so now y'all 4 years in, and she ended up with the bad credit.
If I'm 4 years in and she messed up bad credit, then that got to be on me also, because I'm not helping her out. If we 4 years in and you effing up your credit, and I'm not there to try to at least coach you on, listen, that's a bad decision.
So can you not coach her on a bad decision within 3 to 6 months?
I don't think I had that right to. In 3 to 6 months, I don't know you enough.
All you're doing is giving her advice. You said coaching. That's advice. If I'm
in 3 to 6
investing
months, in 3 to 6 months, I'm gonna see if you take the advice.
But are you gonna give it though? She cannot take it after 4 years.
Absolutely. But after 4 years, if I'm still giving you advice on credit and I'm still watching you jack your stuff up,
ain't that part of managing your system?
But I'm the fool then at that point.
If you're still giving advice?
If I'm giving you advice after 3 years telling you, hey, you know what, mom's just messed up when you co-sign for her, you gonna do it again? Yeah, let me help her. You messed up. Hey, you did this before. You gonna do it again? Hey, you didn't co-sign on little sister's credit card. She just, like, all this is messed up. You still gonna keep doing? Yeah, I just got a heart. Now I gotta take that into account and say, okay, I don't think that this person is good with money, and she don't make decisions, and she don't listen, and she's not coached enough. What's that going to speak about as a wife?
So her, and this is just for the example you just gave. It ain't got nothing to do with anything else. So
yeah.
Off your example you just gave of her just co-signing repeatedly, what does it have to do with her managing money?
because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you can't take coachable, but if you can't take coachable advice with money, then you can't take coachable advice as a wife.
But she's just co-signing for people, which I get is still bad.
And that's foolish.
I know it's foolish.
Then I can't try. If you're
but
foolish,
you're relating that to. I'm going to continue co-signing for my siblings and my mom and all that, but we have not went without in this house, and all bills are paid and all investments are taken care of. I just keep co-signing. You're now going to hold the co-signing over her head when it comes to the investments, bills, and everything else.
Are we married at this point?
You can be. You're 4 years down the road, so you could be married, yes, or a regular relationship. It doesn't matter.
That would be a very much issue if that's my wife and you're co-signing. Now you're messing it up for both of us.
And I understand that. I get that. I'm not even disagreeing with that.
The strategy could be, like you said to me, a strategy could be we flipping your credit. We could be flipping your credit for this investment house while we using my credit for this investment house. If you messing up because you want to help out mom, now you messing up the whole game plan. And now that's going to be an issue in my book. And that's why I go back to 3 to 6 months, where before we even get down to that line, because I have a vision in my life, before we even get down to the line of seeing if you're going to even be in that position to F me up, I want to know if you even capable to understand what I'm talking about. Even if we have a conversation 3 to 6, maybe the conversation 3 to 6 months to say, hey, why do you keep co-signing? And you don't give me a valid answer that's like, that don't sound too grown-up-ish. That's going to be a problem.
That conversation could be had in 3 days.
And this is the thing. I agree. Actually, let's go back. I agree with you. Maybe we can find that out faster.
You ain't no maybe. No.
I just said 3 to 6 months.
If you ask the right question, bro, I'm telling you, this could save you a whole lot of time and
so then
destruction and damage.
So let's just say this. I agree. Let's just say we take 3 to 6 months to 1 month. Everything I'm saying I'm still on everything I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Because if it don't make sense for me, if it don't make sense for our lives, why would I even play with it? If I can't trust that, like I said, if I can't trust, now let's fast forward to now. If I can't trust that you can manage this food that I hunted for based on what I knew a year ago, then I'm the fool.
Yeah, I think you have to take into account the human part too, because even in being married, you still have the individual too. And not speaking for your marriage, but like just in general. Let's just say, Susie and Joe come up on 50 mil. You know what I'm saying? Like Susie may become a whole different person.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you have to take into account, like, is this going to change the individual? Is this money? Does the materialistic person come out? Do you remain humble? And then how are we handling our newfound situation? And then over the years and marriage, money, everything else on the come up, like, how have you changed? How have she changed? How has spending habits changed? Yeah, and then do you guys have everything in the same accounts? Do you share all information? Is there anything separate? Is there things that you don't know about? Because now we got so much money. You know what? I don't even think about some things because I just go out and I buy sometimes, and who knows what she's doing until something major happens. And I agree with you. And I think that when it comes down to it, I think that you got to try to make your best judgment off a person. And pray that pray that person don't change. People are gonna change, but you just gotta put your best foot forward and hope that I made the best decision based on where my life is going. Yeah. And based on making the best decision, everybody's making their best decision based on their standards of their lives. My standard on my life, it goes in this direction, and credit plays a part in that. And I just pray that if I was back in that situation, I'm putting my best foot forward with a person that I want to be my partner in life that can get us to my vision. And credit is going to play a part, not just credit, but money in general. Mm-hmm. When I talk about credit, I'm talking about the whole totality of how you handle your money. So at the end of the day, it's like, if I'm not seeing that in the early stages of our relationship, I have to make a decision. Do I stay with this person knowing my goals, dreams, and aspirations? Do I stay with this person? And in the back of my head, I'm scared because I don't trust that you can handle money right.
Do you feel like you handle money right?
No.
So you're holding these expectations on her and you don't even meet them?
Let me not say I don't handle money right. My wife handles money better than me. And I love to go get it, and I allow her to do what she does.
So are you having these standards because you need someone better to you because you're not financially fit?
No, I just will prefer my life. I would just prefer my marriage. I don't want my wife to work. I would just prefer her to handle what I'm bringing in. I think it just fits as a team. In my eyes, it just fits as a 1-2 punch better.
So what if she?
Go ahead.
Sorry. So what if she said that you being the provider, she wants to see you handle money, and she can still pay the bills or whatever. But as far as like your spending habits, because you said that all goes into that, and I agree that it does. So like, she's on some. Well, you're the provider. How you gonna provide if your spending habits is horrible? Or if you can't handle your money, but you're holding her to these, your credit got to be this, or you have to be doing this, that, and the third, got to know how to handle money. But you just admitted that you don't do it either. So how does that work?
I would just, like I said, I want to be the person to go get it. If she feels that, hey, you know what, you'll do better with paying it, then we're going to have to find a better system. It was just something that we kind of came together, recognizing that most women is better. You know, if you look at disc assessment, stuff like that, a good majority of women is kind of more organized people, more nurturers in that nature. And I just...
Well, outside of
what does nurturing have to do with
wait, I'm not done.
What money? Yeah, you wait. Before, because you got to answer her question because you didn't answer it.
But I don't want you to... No, wait. I don't want you to bring up your marriage.
Right.
Because that's not the example that we were using. So completely like sit...
Okay, so go back in the...
To your...
Go back in the time. So if I was dating, yes, I would be cautious about how I handle my money. I thought you were talking about nowadays.
No, but do you feel like you knowing yourself better than anybody, do you feel like you handle like finances, the finances that you do handle, which probably isn't, you know, the most because you said Shamara does, but...
Are we talking today or at the moment?
Just you as a person. If you, outside of your marriage, you as a person... Because we all know how we do spending our own money. You as a person.
Yeah, as a single person, yes.
You feel like you do great.
No, I don't think I do great.
Oh, okay. So ignoring your marriage and what system you guys have in place, the example that you used, you said, you know, you would want her to handle it, blah, blah, blah. But what if she's saying, well, that's fine and all. I'm going to just put everything on auto pay. But I also want to see how you handle your money because you're supposed to be the provider. So how you going to provide if you don't even know how to handle the money? Or what you gonna do? You gonna spend recklessly and then leave us in the dark or whatever? If you are saying out of your mouth that you don't feel like you do the best handling money, but you're supposed to be the provider as the man, and she's looking to see, okay, well, you want me to have my credit here, this, that, and the third. What do you do with your money, or how do you handle yours?
Well, at the end of the day, I don't want to do everything. If I gotta provide, pay everything, like you're not my child, you're my partner.
That's not what I'm asking.
So, okay, if you brought that to me and that's the question, then I will respond to say, let's figure out a system. If you're gonna pay your bills,
no, that's not what she's saying. In the dating stage,
okay. In the dating,
if you're holding this expectation to her on week 2, you're saying this on week 2.
I wouldn't.
And then
bring,
she's
yeah.
saying that back to you. What are you saying?
Oh, as a single person, yes, I could take care of my finances and everything like that. And if you had to tell me that, hey, I want to see you do X, Y, and Z, I would say let's come up with a better scenario because I would like to provide, and I don't want to be in a situation where I'm providing, paying, managing everything.
Okay, so you're basically sitting across from, no matter who it is, you're basically saying to them, listen, I'm going to go out and bust my butt and I'm going to make all this money. You got to be a type of person to make this money grow. Like anything that I give you, you got to multiply it. That's basically, you need that type of woman sitting across from you.
Ultimately, and we know Shamar's not this person, but I always told her I want a stay-at-home wife. I always wanted that. So
yeah, but basically, is that what you're saying? Like what I just asked you.
The person
if you were single, based on the scenario that you gave, you would need a woman sitting across from you when you're saying, "Listen, that ain't my strong suit, and I don't care for it to be my strong suit. I want to know that whatever I bring in, I'm gonna give it to you. You go take care of it, and you go multiply that."
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's different because now that becomes a standard of yours that you hold to a woman. Doesn't matter who sits in this chair across from me. As a single man, this is a standard that I have for myself and my life, the outlook, the vision, the mission that I have on my life. I need this kind of woman sitting across from me. And if you're not that kind of woman, then, you know, you're great, but you got to exit.
Yeah, I would say that's the person I wanted to be when I was younger.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, that's the type of woman, and nothing against any other type of woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm not throwing shade to. I think that there's great independent women that get it for themselves. You know, with me, I'm a kids person. I want to stay at home mom because I'm a kids person, and I want a woman in place to help raise the kids. So I always thought to myself, it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to get out here and get it if I want her to be the mother. I don't want her to be the mother and also help me provide for the bills because. What if we, and Dre, you have kids, and I don't know if you ever had this situation, but this is in my mind. What if we go to have kids and something happened, you just can't go back to work? I can't be basing everything off of both of us trying to be able to do it together. So I got to at some point be in a position, because I do want to have kids. I do want to, have this vision of my lifestyle. And I would love, when at the time, I would have loved a woman to fit this vision of myself. If that's her, then great. If you don't want to be, if that's not what you're looking to do, and you want to get out here and you want to work and you want to do this, cool. There's a person, I believe there's a person for everybody. But my vision of how I envision my lifestyle went this direction, and I was praying and hoping to find a person that could fit that vision so we can move and grow together. And stay-at-home wife and taking care of the kids and stuff, I'll bring that home and manage the home and stuff like that. That was my vision. Mm-hmm. So I was hoping and praying to find a person of who I am to fit me as a person. You gotta be good with money. I'm just praying that, you're good with money, because that's the type of person I am. And I got an abundance, and I believe that that's out there, and I believed and I scored. And that's just where I was at. So it was crucial that you had to be good with money, because this is the direction we're moving in. Mm-hmm. I always had a plan, 5-10 year plan on where we want to go. And that just was my plan. I'm not saying that nobody on this podcast has to listen to Nick's plan and take, you don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm one of 8 billion people in this world. This was my vision of my life. God planted this vision in my mind and my heart. And God also blessed me with a woman that had the same vision and plan. Mm-hmm. And so it just worked out for me. That might not be the situation with everybody. Maybe you want another woman that y'all can both go get after it, and God bless you. That's great. That was just my plan. And that's just where the direction I had to go. And that's why being a steward of your finances had to be critical for where I wanted to go.
Yeah, I do believe, though, that everyone, I don't care who you are, I think everybody should be on top of their finances in any situation, because anything could happen in life. You know what I mean? God forbid something happened to you. God forbid. If something happened to you and you were not able to work anymore, then what?
That whole plan I just said is shot.
Yeah. So I think it's.
But that's more important to have some savings, have some credit, have something that you can kind of have a plan B, like you said in the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's imperative to always think ahead and think from all angles and make sure that, I would encourage you to just get more sharp in those areas. Not that you have to take those areas over, or responsibilities or roles, whatever you have with Shamara, to take them over, but to at least be sharp in those areas just in case anything happened.
Oh, we go by. I mean? We got a system, and we personally, I don't know if you ever heard of it, but we use Profit First. Mm-hmm. That's how we kind of base what we got going on. And I do believe to have a system when money is not where you want it to be, so that when you do come across money, that system is already implanted. So, be good at what you have now, be a steward to what you have now, so that when God do bless you with a multitude of that, you already have a system and a framework to keep moving forward, no matter how much money you got. So we do go by a system, and
So if I ask all of us right now what our monthly number was as far as budget, do all of us know that number?
So don't ask me.
Yes.
You know your number?
Get somebody else to.
Of what come in and what go out. What's your number?
I said, don't ask me. I clearly said, don't ask me. And what do you do? What's your number? He said, yes. Nick, I think he's waiting for you, Pumpkin.
I was talking to you.
Nick, he waiting for you.
Well, I'm not discussing them numbers, but.
Oh, well, he knows his number. I said, don't ask me.
You need to get it together.
You know yours?
You need to get it together. We get up out of here. Oh, no, I do. Oh, no, I do know mine. Or else I wouldn't ask that question. I wouldn't ask that question if I didn't know mine. We get up out of here. Listen, I hope that you guys have learned some valuable information on this. This is what Blended Views is all about. You got differences of opinions coming together, and hopefully we get a better understanding of each other's situation, and then you guys can learn something, pick something up. Listen, love or relationships is not built on love alone. Ask all the hard questions, please.
Yes.
Up front, first date. Ask everything.
What's that credit score?
What's your credit score? How much do you make? What are your plans? Instead of asking, what's your 5-year goal? No, ask them, what's their 5-day goal? What's your 5-week plan?
What's your daddy look like?
What does your house look like? Do you plan on being there?
Is he bald?
That's true too. No, that's true. Can I see a picture of your mom? What about your sisters? What about her sisters?
What's-
Because I got to know that I'm going to enjoy what I'm going to look at when we 50, 60, 40 years old. I need to see how your body's going to transform after you have a baby. And women, that may be offensive, but men think about that, and y'all look at us. I mean, it's true, because it's like, how are you going to transform? Can I deal with that? Okay. A lot of people like to say unconditional love and all this other crap. And then the moment that they wife or girl, whatever they have a baby or something happens, and all of a sudden they be like, man, she just don't look the way she look, man. What happened to that unconditional love? Out the window. Ask all the hard questions up front. You know what I mean? You can even ask them, what's your meat size? Because maybe I can't deal with that. Seriously. Do you get wet or do you stay dry?
Oh my God.
Does it take work?
What is
Ask all the hard questions up front so that you know what you're willing to deal with, what you're going to deal with or not. And I shouldn't say
health
deal,
problems running
but
y'all
you know
family
what I mean?
too? Is that's a thing?
Yes, health issues. Like, ask all of these things up front so you can actually make a conscious decision if you would like to proceed or not. So this topic today was just one of many conversations that you can have, and you see this lasted an hour and 15 minutes. So that's just one topic. So these topics should give you guys some great talking points as you get to know one another before you guys proceed into dating, engagement, marriage, children. Ask these questions. It's important. Any takeaways, guys?
Get all the information up front. Do yourself a favor. Get it all up front, because learning on the back end is going to be expensive, and it's going to be a heartbreak. Just warning you. Do your pre-work before you do it.
Amen.
Sio.
I don't have any.
Why?
You can't, because I don't.
Why? Another takeaway: know your numbers. Okay, know your numbers. Okay, sit down and do a budget tonight, right now. Actually, wherever you're at in this world, if you don't know your numbers, like if someone was to walk up, if your husband, wife, mom, dad said, "Hey, what was your monthly expenses last month?" You should be able to come up with that number and let them know, if you so choose, unless they just nosy. But if they mean well, you should so do your budget so you know what's coming in, what's going out. And that way you can properly plan for the future, and you can plan to get investments. Know your credit. These are things. Get a routine. Get a morning routine where when you wake up in the morning, whatever your routine is, it should be looking at your bank account, looking at your credit, looking at all these things, so you can get used to actually strategically planning solo. So when you get with somebody, it's a smooth transition. Till next time, play the moments, pause the memories, stop the pain, keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Whoa, wait. Before you cut it off, we just want to take the time to thank you for tuning in to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered. We want to thank all of our faithful listeners and all of you who have not tuned in faithfully, but you're just now tuning in to all of our nonsense. My man Nick got a message for y'all.
Always remember, if you guys ever wanted to write into the podcast to just tell us about your relationship, ask us any questions, get our advice on everything. This is Blended Views, so we could give you a view that you might not see in your day-to-day relationship. Always remember, write us in at info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com. That is info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com. I would spell it. I don't know how to spell all of those words, so let's just keep it at info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com.
And he's not lying. Y'all know he struggles with that. So after y'all get done with all of that boring stuff and you want to just write in and tell me how delicious I look, make sure that you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And don't forget, we are streaming on all streaming platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at. Make sure you tune in, subscribe to every single channel as we release content every single week. Until next time, play the moments, pause the memories, stop the pain, and keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Bye.